Hello guys, welcome. I am supposed to be in bed, it's late at night, but I thought why not check out what's been going on in the virtual reality space today, and I was not prepared what I was about to be presented with. Like a mother presenting the king with his first son, or a sandwich pre-made at lunch. It was not something I was expecting at all. So thank you to Basti564 for giving me extra information on the matter, and Reggie for posting on Reddit to let the community know what he had found. So Oculus Connect is around the corner. What, sorry? Facebook Connect is just around the corner, and usually there is a big reveal at these events, something that we can get excited for, and I wasn't expecting an Oculus Quest 3, maybe an announcement of a Quest Pro, but these new updates may solidify my suspicions, and of course I haven't seen the source code directly with my own eyes, and it could just be that, it could just be source code from experimenting, it may not mean anything, it may not mean something is around the corner. Mr. Reggie04, no, he deserves Sir Reggie04. He posted on Reddit saying this: after 1 year, I once again decided to do some digging around in the most recent Oculus Quest firmware, which is version 32. I have some interesting information to share, including the first actual reference to an Oculus Quest Pro device. There have been hints towards one, but never an official confirmation, as well as further confirmation that Facebook is actively working on face and eye tracking for a future Oculus device. How awesome is that? A finally reference to a Quest Pro. We kind of knew it was coming, it was rumors, what else they were going to do, you know? Virtual reality, the community's so tight and knit, they're gonna listen to the consumer, so we kind of expected that. But that's not all he said. To back up his claim, he did post a series of strings that have escaped characters in them, so that kind of makes you think he did actually take this out of source code, unless he knows some basic programming syntax, which, to be fair, if he's looking inside the firmware, he probably does. So the first of which is hand tracking. He found strings that said, Quest Pro estimates your hand size and how they move so you can use your hands instead of the controllers in VR. So there are a few things here. First, an actual reference to Quest Pro. It says Quest Pro, it is there, it is official, it is right there. But there are other things that make me curious, like why does hand size play a role apart from an accurate representation of your hands in virtual reality? Does that mean the next headset won't come packaged with controllers? We know Facebook have been talking about doing so to make the offering cheaper, but the Quest Pro? The next bunch of strings relate to face tracking, which again, we know Facebook have been working on. We saw many years ago them doing crazy face tracking demos with this huge device on the front of the original Quest, and it looked incredible, so I'm sure there have been some advancements since then. So the strings that he has posted are instructional prompts on how to set up and calibrate face tracking on the Quest. So these strings say first, copy the different expressions. The first one of which is smile naturally until the calibration is complete. You may need to hold this for a few seconds. Is it done yet? Show an angry expression until the calibration is complete. You may need to hold this pose for a few seconds. Next is frown naturally until the calibration is complete. You may need to hold this pose for a few seconds. Then next, show a surprised expression until the calibration is complete. And you guessed it, you may need to hold this pose for a few seconds. And then of course there are strings for error handling, such as you have failed, the expression, retry again, retrying, do the calibration again, and the face movement estimation complete as a prompt to say, well done, you can pull smiles and frowns like a pro. But the fact they're going to be able to allow us to see deeper expression in virtual reality is amazing, and it's a much needed feature if Facebook wants that metaverse so we can have better presence in these virtual worlds. Because body language, non-verbal communication is over 50%. I don't know the exact number, but over 50% of how we communicate. Next is eye tracking, something we expect in a new headset. It's going to help deliver more virtual reality capabilities that the next gen is going to require, that we want. So the eye tracking instructions are as follows. Follow the target with your gaze. Eye calibration failed and eye movement estimation complete. And from these prompts, it suggests that you will have to follow something on screen to calibrate eye tracking, which makes sense. How else are you going to do it? Speak to calibrate eye tracking. I just hope it's a PNG of Zuckerberg's face, and we have to follow that around. That would be quite funny. And because there's eye tracking, you think, does that mean automated IPD? No. It seems also hidden in the source code is instructions on how to manually adjust the lenses to improve your clarity. But what I find interesting in these strings that he'd found is that it talks about depth, not just moving the lenses side to side, but forwards and backwards. So slide the lenses closer together or further apart to improve visual clarity. That's IPD how we already know it, of course. The next is press and hold the depth button and move the headset closer or further away from your face. So this is something you may have seen on the PlayStation VR headset. It has a button in the bottom right corner and you can pull it further away or push it closer to your eyes. But me, I'm always trying to jam it as close as I possibly can, get as much FOV as you can get out of the headset. The next one is turn the wheel left or right to adjust the tightness. The front padding should fit directly over your forehead. Excuse me? Padding over your forehead? That could mean that we are getting a big comfort improvement, a nice redesign of the Oculus Quest head strap so our cheeks don't take a beating anymore, because I'm not sure how much longer they can take. And Oculus, they did submit a patent for a design that sounds like what they're talking about here. It looks much like their Elite Strap design, but with a forehead cap. And that's going to improve the comfort massively, but it does mean you're going to get a much more sweatier forehead. Pros and cons. So all of this was found in the version 32 firmware, and Basti564 also found some more references that could be related to the new hardware or large software updates back in version 30. So I'm just going to update you on those. They include things such as potential for rechargeable controllers, so no more batteries, and a virtual desktop panel integrated as part of the navigation, which I am less confident about since they introduced the Workrooms application, but we do know they're trying to make the home a much more social hub. So if we can bring friends over to a social hub and have this virtual panel so we can share our computer in the Oculus home environment, that'd be amazing. I'd love to be able to watch just TV and shows with my friend in the Oculus home. Basti564 also found something lovely, not related to this, but a new feature of the Oculus Quest. They have changed the Guardian intrusion detection that we were expecting, and that's been replaced with something called Space Sense, which I personally think it sounds way better. When Basti564 enabled Space Sense, it says that you can see the real world surroundings in VR, but that's not really what it is doing. So enabling Space Sense allows you to see outlines of people and things that are within your play space up to a 9-foot distance. So I'm guessing obviously you're still going to see behind you because the cameras aren't facing that way, so you still have to be careful, but it is going to allow you to be more comfortable in virtual reality and not hit kids as they're running past, because there are far too many of those videos on Reddit. So tons of really exciting information, guys. I think it's time for me to go to bed now. It is incredibly late. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. Please comment down below what your predictions are for Facebook Connect and what features you're most excited for that have been spoken about in this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel and join me next time for games, news, and reviews. Happy gaming, guys. Good day.